Well, I just was curious. What is it that has made you so well known in the apartment community? People love you. Well, I will tell you, and she just goes on talking about herself because her favorite subject was herself. Just like me. When we get a picture, big group picture, who do we see? Ourselves. We got this huge group picture, like, where am I? And you're like, but here am I. I don't care where you're at. Look at me. That's me. That's my name. I'm in the picture. You know, wedding photos. We're like, look how good I look. And you go, honey, I had my mouth open in that photo. It doesn't matter. Look at me. That's what we did. So I found out people's favorite subject was themselves. Now I know that, and now when I do sales training, I teach people, people's favorite subject is themselves. So if you're going to sell a product, ask them a ton of questions and let them talk about themselves. Okay? So when I sell real estate now, I do consulting with a real estate company. We always ask, because these are multimillionaires who are buying huge properties, we say, tell us about how you got started. Well, I'll tell you how I got started. 25 years ago, my wife and you get really. So you and your wife, yeah, I did. And then 10 minutes later, you can put the phone down, you get a coffee, get your teeth cleaned, whatever. You'll come back, and that's why we're successful. Really, and just keep going. I'm not. Does everybody relate to that though? That's what it is. So I had to learn through. But if I didn't have unyielding faith, I promise you that I would have just put the phone down and quit. But the only reason I had unyielding faith was because I studied the lives of Carnegie, Ford, Edison, and they told me have unyielding faith. That's the only reason I wouldn't have had unyielding faith. My parents didn't raise me and say, have unyielding faith. When you fail at a business, start again. So I'm just going to give you some examples here. I think I have some examples of prolific failures so you don't feel so bad about yourself if you've had some initial failures. Here we go. I started a landscaping business. Okay, I live in a largely Caucasian community. How many Caucasian dudes have you seen mowing lawns lately? Maybe one? Maybe, okay. 1/16 of a Caucasian we've seen mowing a lawn. So I live in a Caucasian community. Hard to find Caucasians to mow lawns, which is my workforce that's available. So I found out real quick I'm going to have to price myself out of it unless I want to hire people that aren't necessarily documented, which could get me in some trouble. So $20,000 of lawn landscaping equipment later, bombed. But I learned a lot of things, okay? Then I thought I could use used cooking oil and convert it into diesel fuel and sell it. So do you guys know how they make, do you guys know what methanol is used for, like meth labs and things like that? What's the primary component used to convert cooking grease into fuel? So I'm having methanol delivered to my house. I don't know if you can see how this is a problem. Tons of methanol delivered to my house. And then I've got a wife, and I have some kids, and I'm having, all sorts of chemicals delivered to my house on pallets that are explosive. So then, the neighborhood guy, he's kind of he does all the zoning. He just kind of alerts me that, hey, I realize that you're maybe into this I realize you're not doing a meth lab, but you can't have pallets of methanol delivered to a home. Oh. So I had this thing called the Fuel Meister. That's a picture of it. It's huge apparatus to make fuel. Totally bad deal. Okay? But through that I learned do not make fuel in your house. Okay? Next thing. Started a web design company. We did